general manager Ryan Pace be fired if the Chicago Bears do indeed decide to move on from head coach Matt Nagy after the season? What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Now back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, hit that big red subscribe button. And I've got a pretty interesting question for you guys, right? Posing to you guys about what happens with Ryan Pace if Nagy gets fired. Because we aren't talking about this enough, right? We all agree, or we should, that Matt Nagy's gone after the season, right? A lot of us thought maybe if the Bears lost to the Lions that it would have happened after that game, and then George McCaskey sticks his foot in his you-know-what, in his mouth really, and decides to not fire him because the rumors leaked. But either which way, it's going to happen after the season, barring some miracle. And so the question is, will the guy who hired Matt Nagy stay if Matt Nagy's gone? Interesting dilemma. And there's a lot of different ways to look at this, but ultimately, folks, it comes down to one thing: the development of Justin Fields. We still have a number of games left before the season's over. If Justin Fields, who is expected to return next week, continues to progress and look like a franchise quarterback, I believe he has the ability to save Ryan Pace's job. Because Ryan Pace should get credit for going up and drafting Justin Fields, right? We can bash him for his mistakes, but you got to go in and give him credit for what he did. And he's done pretty well with drafting, right? He's done pretty well with drafting. We can go take a look at the track record. Certainly defensive players for sure. But you get the franchise quarterback right, that's your ticket to staying. But you got this blemish on your record, which is, well, you got two. You got Mitch Trubisky, who's gone now, and then you got Matt Nagy. And so, let's say Justin Fields looks as how he's looking, which is he develops and he looks solid and he looks promising, but it's not like he's lighting the world up on fire throughout the end of the season. He's just playing solid. If that is the case, I believe the most likely scenario for what happens with Ryan Pace if Matt Nagy's let go is that I believe Bears management does pull a Reinsdorf, which is Jay Reinsdorf, the owner of the Bulls, is that they move Ryan Pace to another position within the team. So the Reinsdorfs did this when they got rid of Gar and Pax, is that they completely fired Gar Foreman, and then John Paxson, who had been with the organization for a long time, I think they just put him in a different position. They made up some title and put him in a different position to make it not seem like a demotion, even though it was. So I believe the same thing happens with Ryan Pace here, is Matt Nagy, okay, you suck at your job, you're fired. But Ryan Pace, since you did good, you did solid, and your head coach screwed you or didn't hold up his end of the bargain, we'll keep you, but we'll put you in a different role because we just can't have, a new regime come in and you're still the GM. So that's what I think happens. Ryan Pace gets moved to a different role. Maybe they create it, maybe it's a demotion, but they won't say that. He gets moved to a different role, and we get a new head coach in here, new GM in here, new regime in here. We got to start fresh. We got to do what the Bulls did. We got to start fresh. I need a new front office with the new GM, new coach, and do it correctly, right? Because in football, especially in football, if you have a GM, a new coach with an old GM, or an old coach with a new GM, it just doesn't work that way. So to me, I believe the most likely scenario is Ryan Pace's position gets moved around, or I should say his position. Ryan Pace gets put in a new position and gets moved around, and somebody else takes over the GM spot. And I'm fine with that, folks, as long as Ryan Pace isn't the GM, right? Now, I don't hate Ryan Pace. I'm kind of in the middle with him. If the Bears kept him, would it be the worst thing in the world? No. Matt Nagy, I'm done with. But Ryan Pace, he's done enough to where I'm thinking, okay, maybe he deserves to keep his job. Maybe he doesn't. So I'm in the middle. I'm kind of torn. But for the most part, what do I think is likely to happen is they move him to a different position within football operations, and they bring in a new GM and a new coach. That's what I think happens. So let me know what you guys think. Do the Bears keep Ryan Pace if they let go of Nagy? Because I think it'll be too awkward, right? You fired the head coach, you kept the GM, bring in a new head coach. It's tough. I just don't think they fire Ryan Pace because of what he's done with the Bears, which has been, I guess, fairly solid. Nothing to write home about. Still only, 1 or 2 playoff appearances, but still, that's what I believe happens. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. If you agree, what do you think happens with Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy's fired? As always, thanks for watching.